Good evening, race fans. How are you doing here tonight, Tyranex?
Good, how are you?
Looks like we're still getting a little bit set up here, but I'm doing good myself.
Yeah, I think we really interesting race tonight. We have some fairly straightforward seeds. Though the major hook in these seeds is that we have some claimed bosses, which means that every single boss in the game is going to be, all of their stats are going to be between 100% and 200%. And that means that every single boss in the game, at the very least, is going to be as strong as the vanilla version of the boss.
Not that vanilla bosses are very scary, but it only goes up from there, so there could be some threats out there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the main thing that we see, the biggest difference is that 3 of the 4 runners are running a black belt, while our runner in the top right is running fighter. Oh. I'm sorry, my stream's lagged a bit.
Yeah, no worries there. It appears that they're handling it. We had the same thing going on last week for some reason. But yeah, as you were saying, we have 3 runners going with black belts, but it appears that Caleb is running no black belt, just going with a Knight Rainbow tonight.
Yeah, we're just gonna give this a second for everything to get worked. I think, yeah, the biggest difference is the fighter white black party. Completely doable in these flags, although with, I think, looking ahead, that with a long Topher, we don't have short Topher on these flags. If he sees he might just be like the first into Topher, but if he sees some rough gatekeepers, it's going to give him a really hard time.
It can, no doubt. I don't know. I'm a pretty big fan of the fighters, although I enjoy black belts, but with the random spike tiles that we have tonight, you don't know if you're going to find something for them or not.
Yeah, and with the stream cutting out here at the beginning, I think the only good offensive black magic that we've seen is Zap at level 1.
Not what you want to see.
It looks like we have heal 3 at level 1 for the white magic, which is obviously, it was really nice, but that Zap is not going to work against the undead, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, Zap can 100% work on Garland to actually get you through this, but we have Town Shuffle on in this seat, I believe, and if we run into like Provoca being Gaia or something like that, and Elflin being Lafine or something like that, this could be a seed with some really rough magic to start.
And it looks like we're all up and running again. I'm with you on the Zap. It never seems accurate enough for me, but I do believe it works on undead. I think it's time-based. Oh wow, we also have exit at level 1 in the white magic, and it is red mage learnable.
Well, it looks like we started with the ship and the cube, it looked like.
Yes, the king had the ship for us, and Sarah rewarded us with a wonderful cube for rescuing her from that foul fiend.
That's interesting because we have free bridge and free canal on these flags, so having this ship opens up quite a bit. There's not many things on the northern continent that you can get to without the canoe, but it does at least open up the Melmond option for the runners. Okay, looks like we have the stream set up now. Okay, we're good. Looks like we have Cheeseinator taking care of the pirates. He gets the ruby, which opens up the Melmond route quite a bit. He can go through there. He can get the Titan's Trove incentive location and the oh god, what's his?
Sarda, yeah.
Sarda,
so
yeah.
The ruby's a fantastic find on a seed like this. It's something I don't know that I'd head there immediately, but I would definitely be checking it before long.
When we were having stream difficulties, I didn't see what the magic was in the shops here. It looks like Cheeseinator is getting NPC blocked.
Looks like we got ice too, so I mean at least we have some sweeper, and fast is always wonderful to have.
Yeah, fast being at level 2 is really good. That means they're going to have fast casts for every single fiend in Topher.
Oh yeah, plenty to go around too. Hopefully they get some real sweepers at level 3 or 4, or they could be in for a little bit of a long haul.
Yeah, it could be tough because the incentive locations that we have outside of the normal incentive locations is Ice, Ordeals, Titan Trove, and Corneria Lock. And we have 2 loose items. So they're going to have to... there's no real dungeons outside of the Earth Cave that we have access to right now. They're going to be able to check 2 locations with Sarda and Sarda and Titan Trove.
Right, and there's always that free check at Crescent available to them as soon as they get out of here.
There's nothing really good at level 2 white magic. Harm 3 is a decent spell, but nothing game-changing. I'll be interested to see if... I think Caleb is headed over to... I think he's going to make a Dwarf Cave check. Oh, no. I think he's just going straight to Melmond right now. I was wrong. He is going to check the Dwarf Cave for those 2 chests. I think the play right now is to go check out those 2 incentive locations. It's really the only place you can go right now is check out Titan Trove Locked and Sarda.
Yeah, I believe Bert's headed that way. Oh, no, never mind. I was also incorrect. Looks like he's headed up to visit Matoy. I don't know. I'd certainly be interested to head down to Elf and see what my magic's going to look like.
Yeah, I think with Town Shuffle, I definitely would at least want to save and poke my head in there and see what it is.
You're absolutely correct. I absolutely forgot we had Town Shuffle on since Provoca was Provoca.
We got Cheeseinator checking it out right now, and it is on rack. Should check this item shop just to see if the item's there. And it's not, so you can ignore this area for a little bit. The seed is taking everybody to the Melmond area, and we're going to see where it ends up.
Yep, and Bert just did that. First look at Melmond, it is Elfland. So that is certainly a wonderful check to have made.
There's only Fire 2 in the level 3 Black Magic. We're going to check out level 3 White Magic right now. We got Wall. That's a good pickup. They might pick up later. I don't think they have the gold to deal with it right now. We're going to do a check for level 4 White Magic. Cure 4, which is only White Mage learnable. And Nuke level 4. and warp level 4. So level 4 is going to be big for the black mages, which means they have to get to level 8 to be able to use those spells, which might be a little difficult to get there at this point.
There's those nice gold bracelets. Pretty expensive today, though. I don't think anyone's just sitting on 44k ready to go in on those yet.
I think we got Bert and Caleb right now, the first going into Titan's Trove. There is an incentive location here, along with 3 other chests. It's a pretty safe dungeon to get through. There can be some really bad Grey Wolf fights in here, especially if they roll something nasty, but this is usually a pretty safe place to get through. Caleb's level 6. I think when he hits level 8... Oh, these arachnids have frost. Arachnids having frost, I don't think that's too big of a deal. It's going to suck a little bit on the overworld. Hopefully our runners don't have to go into Marsh Cave. That's the only other place I think it would be a real bad place for. But,
I think you mean hopefully they do have to go to Marsh. You know, if I'm not racing, I want to see Marsh. Well, here's our first look at that incentive chest. And Caleb picks up a crown for his trouble. This is looking like it's going to be a nice back and forth and bottle from our old man Sar.
Okay, so that's really good. We're not going to be able to turn that. I mean, we haven't seen the town of Gaia yet for the bottle turn in, but I think that the crown is the obvious next choice for our runners.
Right, yeah, I think I'd probably sail around the southern side of Elf to turn in the crown and get myself halfway to whatever the crescent location's going to be.
Well, they can't get there, though, without a canoe. And we had Caleb wiping to these arachnid.
Canoe.
You can't get to ordeals, you can't...
No, but the southern side of Elf so that they can walk up and turn in that crown.
Okay, I understand.
And then sail east to whatever our crescent location may be this evening. I don't know. Who knows? They might decide to dive Earth, but I would not be wanting to go to Earth right now.
Well, the thing is if this crown turn-in is not progression, I think Earth is the next logical step that they'll have to do. They could do Marsh if they wanted to, but nothing in Marsh is incentivized right now, so it's something you probably want to put off till the...
Could be. I mean, 2 out of the 3 towns we have left would also give them an incentive item, though. Since they do have that bottle, if it's Gaia, they'll get one from that, and if it's Crescent, they'll get the free one. The only thing they don't want to see is Lefane. Oh, I suppose Melman's still out there somewhere as well.
Well, we don't have extended open progression on right now, so just only open progression. So
right.
That cuts off a little bit if they don't have a canoe.
Oh, they definitely want that canoe, no doubt about it.
Got Cheeseinator, looks like he's making a trip to the northern continent. Nope, he's going to Crescent Lake. This is the smart play. This town isn't guaranteed at all to be Crescent Lake, but it being a town check is the next logical place that you can go. It could be Gaia. They could have a bottle tournament at this.
Yeah, it's about 50-50 as to whether or not it'll have an item for him, but I don't know. Part of me really wants to do that crown check first. I think it would have been... Either way, you're doing both.
What I like, he hasn't taken any saves here, so if this is a nothing town, I think he can just reset out. It is Crescent Lake. It is Vanilla Crescent Lake. So we're going to be able to check an item here. Silver bracelets, which are really nice pickup. Especially with those gold bracelets being so expensive. Only 6k for silver bracelets is going to help out his 3 mages quite a bit. Okay, we got an herb pickup.
Yep, it's Fetch Quest City today. We're just going back and forth. But it turns out he made the smart play this time, because if I had done it and done that crown and then come here and had to go straight back to Elf, I would have been disappointed. He can hit them both up now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either play there is the wrong play. Certainly, I think this is going to work out for Cheese. Being able to check out both spots, but you know, we're still in a place right now that we don't really have any true progression spot. You know, items that are gonna push us forward in a certain direction. I have a feeling these 2 items are gonna push us in a direction that we have to go.
They certainly will do that, because if they both turn up duds, we know we have to head to Earth or Mars.
And a big thing with only having open progression instead of extended open progression, even if there's a floater from one of these spots, they're going to need a canoe before they can get there.
And it looks like Bert is doing the play that I was thinking of and stopped off at Elf and is headed up there to the northwest cap.
Cheesenegger's actually right now doing one of my favorite plays, trying to get... I usually like being in this area. This Crescent Lake area is a really nice place, especially if you have some really good save manipulation that you can do. To get to like the level 8, level 9 area, it's, you can start getting some access to level 4 spells. There's usually stuff like the Peds, trolls, fights like this with scorpions that might die pretty easily to some low-level magic that will get you just enough levels that you can actually start progressing in the game, because I think when you do all this fetch quest stuff, you can actually get a little bit caught up just running around down like level 5, and then like when you actually have to do something, you know, oh god, I'm level 5, I have to dive waterfall. It's not a good thing, but I really like what he's doing right now. He's level 8 on all of his characters right now, which is going to give him access to Nuke. It's going to give him access to, you know, all that good level 4 magic.
Absolutely. If you can find those EX speeds on reset, that's usually a pretty good day.
Looks like he wants to take this beyond level 8.
Meanwhile, Bert did turn in that crown and only got a power bonk for his trouble. Nice to see, but not what he's looking for right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, you want to see it eventually, but I think right now we're looking to see what the herb's going to be. I think that's going to... It's either going to be progression, or we are going to the Earth Cave, or the Marsh Cave, depending on what our runners want to do.
Unless someone really wants to sail up to Onrak.
Yeah,
We are.
that's not a bad choice. I mean, I've certainly played seeds in my life that the vendor item in on rack was progression, and it was the only thing that you could get to with a ship. I've definitely been there before. It's certainly something I would want to test if it came to that. You know, maybe save in the middle of the ocean, check it out. If it's nothing, just reset out.
Indeed. At least the the seas don't look too unsafe today for something like that. Some days you get those sea seeds that just, you've got sea hags with crack or something scary, and you just can't really sail the sea quite as much.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Cheeseinator is the only one with the herb that I can see right now, and he's headed there right now. And I think we're going to find out in about here 1 minute where the seat's going to take us. And
There is the canoe.
that opens up everything. That opens up Ice Cave. That opens up Volcano. With the ship, that opens up Waterfall. That opens up Ordeals. Cheeseinator has his choice of what he wants to do.
Yep, but we can go basically anywhere except for 2 of the towns. So, take your pick. Where do you want to dive?
My choice usually in this point is to go to the northern continent checks, the Waterfall Ordeals. That's just my personal. I like to check the town while I'm down there of Onrak to see what it is, and also Waterfall and Ordeals. They can be nasty, but they're dungeons that you can kind of RNG your way through. I think it's a little easier than Ice Cave, especially with loose items being a thing. With our runners not having any loose items at this point, they're going to want to have to, if they were to go to Ice Cave, they're going to have to check everything. And Ice Cave can be a super nasty place. So if I was Cheese right now, I would be going for Waterfall and then Ordeals after that.
I'm actually with you. That's a play that I typically like to make as well. I'm not a fan of taking the canoe up the river system, and I try to avoid it anytime I can.
Yeah, he's gonna have 2 checks on shops. He's gonna have the on-rack shop, and he can also check out the Oasis spot. And he's gonna have 2 checks for the actual progression items to have a chance to get the floater. And you know, being on this side of the map, you're not that actual far from a floater turn-in. So, and this is what Cheeseinator's doing right now. He's heading towards Onrak and the waterfall. I'm not sure. Let me check the flags real quick.
It's a standard waterfall today.
It is okay. Not a proc gen waterfall. That can be a little rough. Proc gen waterfalls sometimes can be really easy to get. The vanilla waterfall, especially if there's something like a nasty wizard fight, can be a little rough to get through. But you can usually like save scum your way to a decent enough encounters, especially with them having exit. They only need to go through it once.
Yeah, having exit and even warp at this point is a pretty nice little boon for them.
Yeah, and we've seen Cheese do exactly that. He saved just outside of the port. He checked out the Oasis, and nothing at the Oasis. He just reset out, and he's heading to Onrak, right?
And we got Gaia, so they will be turning in that bottle and have a shop to check as well. This is a nice find.
Yeah, everything I just said was based off the town being Onrak, but the town being Gaia is just as good. In Town Shuffle, you want to see all the towns that you can possibly see. And we have a max price loot. which isn't the end of the world because it's the last thing that you have to pick up. And we'll have enough gold to get it when they need it.
And the only sad thing about that is you will have to return to this town, and it's not the most convenient to get to.
Yeah, not super convenient, but everybody else is going to have to do it. We have the chime, which means we can do all of air right now.
Yep, we got chiming cubes, so sky, 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 right? That's what people say.
I don't think the spells are good enough to really take a skydive right now. You might do one of these cheeky mirage dives just for like the first 2 levels of mirage, having the exit spell, but yeah, he's not at the place right now where he's gonna make like a legit sky run.
No, but maybe after Waterfall and Ordeals, it'll be a little more viable if he has some houses.
Yeah, and the seed could very well have the loose items be in the sky that would push him in that direction. Though I'm not sure, tell me if I'm wrong though, but I think with only normal open progression, not extended open progression, I don't think they have a way to get to Sky.
I believe open progression has a dock there.
Okay. I was wrong.
I mean, I also could be wrong. We could both be wrong.
I get confused based on the open progressions. Okay, Gouda is answering the question. You are correct. They can actually get to Mirage based off what they have right now.
And there we go. I hope chat's with me. Sky, sky, sky.
It's certainly a good. It's certainly a play that could work out. There's a lot of high EXP fights there in the first 2 levels of Mirage. I wouldn't be against at all them going down there and checking out some of the chests there. I think based off what we see in Waterfall and stuff like that, me running the seed, I wouldn't go there right now, but you know, you never know these loose seeds where it's going to place you. TNT being in the Waterfall is probably going to take him back to the southern continent.
I don't know that I'd be rushing back yet, though. It's only one of the 2, unless we got lazy dwarves again today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure his next check's going to be Ordeal.
I agree. Burt Reynolds is hot on his heels, so headed straight up to that waterfall as well. Our other 2 runners just slightly behind. We'll see if maybe they make some different decisions, and I know if I'm feeling behind, I will certainly sometimes make some strange decisions and check out either Marsh, praying that no one else did.
Yeah, I'd say our runners are a little bit behind Cheesenator right now. I think Will and Caleb are running into a bit of their party choice right now. Like I said in the beginning of the seed, Cheesenator's party is not a party I would be super happy with doing a deep Topher dive on Clamp 200%. It's doable. I mean, this party could. Oh, never mind.
Right. I was gonna say, I believe that's
changed.
Caleb.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry they changed the spots on me. Yeah, Caleb is the person with the party that I would be a bit worried about. I ran a race last night against Darren Dries. I hope I said that correctly. It was some woke flags. It was rough. I won at 2 hours and 45 minutes, and with a 200% clamped bosses, and I absolutely had to have a 42 black belt to win. And I think Darren Dries played this correctly, but I think her party choice, she had, I believe it was Fighter Rainbow Mage, and I just don't think the seed was beatable. Now, granted, this seed doesn't have alternative final bosses like we had, which we ran into a Garland Chaos, which the Garlands had trance, and we had to pray for turn order to get through all the Garlands, and at that point we had to deal with the Kalos that had double nuclear. But at that same point, I mean, especially with this being a deep Topher, if we run into any kind of a gatekeeper, I'm not sure Caleb's party is going to be able to do it.
Indeed, and Caleb gave us a nice look at the magic and on-rack just a minute ago. Unfortunately, for the White Mage, we saw both Life 2 and Fade there at on-rack, so at level 7, you're not going to have a lot of those.
You're not going to have a lot of them, but I think that we can get our White Mage to level 21 to at least have a cast of.
Cheesenator playing us the Song of Our People as he goes through ordeals here. Oh, and Will's right there with him. He apparently chose to go to ordeals first rather than water. That's actually the order I usually run it in, so I approve.
Yeah. So it looks like we have a couple decently tough. It looks like Cheesenator got through the maze with pretty much intact. So a lot on this is going to depend on what comes here from this ordeals. He has the TNT turn in, so if this is a dud, or if this is something like the tail, it's obviously going to take him back to the southern continent. It's going to probably take him towards ice, would be my guess. But it's nice to knock all this out while you're here.
Oh yeah, and it's a place that's a little annoying to get to once you have the airship. So if you're sailing this way anyways, I love to stop here and do it.
Man-cats are unrunnable. Hopefully they are. Ooh, those ice 2s are not going to do much.
Yeah, man-cats are not an enemy I usually want to mess with if I don't have enough nukes or fades laying around.
Well, he's out of nuke charges. This is not the fight you want to see when you're low on magic. A black belt went down.
Pretty sure they have a sun sword. I almost wonder if he might have been better off attacking with the red mage. Oh, they're starting to go down. Just a couple more casts. Alright, now pray he doesn't see a second one of those fights back to back.
Okay. Slab is a dead end, and I think it's triple I.
That's a nice tile to find. Not the place I want to find it.
Exactly.
But still.
Do you want to go all the way in here to get that?
Not at all. And he doesn't exactly have a lot of magic to burn through to. I mean, I'm sure he'll burn what he has before leaving, but it's not going to be a lot.
Zap got him through the fight. That being the slab, though, is going to definitely take him to... Oh, he's taking it again.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely at least take it till I'm out of magic. He has a couple of fire and ice charges left.
Yeah, they're not hitting too hard. I'd be a little worried if they were hitting harder. You're not guaranteed for these stabs to get through you. But with the item here being the slab, it's definitely going to take him back to the southern continent to check out that TNT turn.
I don't know. That's... Oh, that would mean you're at least double diving dwarf, probably. Maybe triple.
Well, I mean...
If it turns out to be the floater or something, it's absolutely the big brain play and a wonderful thing. But if it's, you know, another junk item, the Thor hammer or something.
I mean, we're sitting on 5% per key item right now. I think I would check all the key items that I possibly could, especially if the seed's taking me back to the southern continent. I don't think it's too terribly far out of the way to go to Dwarf Cave, and then, you know, if it's a dud, it's taking you to ice, which, you know, you're gonna go west out of the ice cave, and you're gonna get into that, you know, that dock between Provoca and Crescent Lake, and that's just the next step. But of course, if it's the floater, you know, you're gonna take that chance, I think.
That's fair, and it does look like he probably is at this point. We'll see if he stops off at one of these inlets here. Yep, as expected. Oh, hey, look, we beat the bridge boss.
37 minutes into the seed, we got the bridge boss.
Oh, and apparently I was wrong. He had not picked up that sun sword yet. Just the other runners.
I would have beat that bridge boss at 2 minutes. One of my actual big brain plays that I usually do is at level 1, I like to go up to the bridge boss, get it out of the way, fight an imp fight, get to level 2. So I have 3 spells. So I have 3 level 1 spells, and then I can save away the bridge boss, and I can go into Temple of Fiends with 3 level 1 charges. It's just something I like to play.
Well, he did pick up a rod for his trouble, so Earth Cave is looking a little more on the table now.
I think that's where you gotta go. I think there's going to be some loose items. I think you got a full clear Earth at this point. There's really no other play that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's either that or go do Ice and Volcano.
Yeah, based on where he is right now, you know, if it was me, I would probably go Ice at this point. Especially if I had a house or two, I'd probably try to knock out the Ice Volcano combo. I think you have to take into consideration with the clamped bosses that carry 1 is by no means free. So it's something I would probably try to put off a little bit more than I would if it was a non-clamped. And I think he's sitting trying to think what he wants to do.
Looks like he thought better of it and is headed.
He's going to Earth. I don't hate this.
Agreed. I'm with you though. I would have preferred ice just because it is that guarantee that it is an instant of location. You will definitely get something there.
Yeah, I think the fact that we haven't seen anything loose kind of pushes you a little bit towards here because I think if we were only sitting on one loose, I would want to hit all the places that had chests the easiest way that I could and the smartest way I could go through it. But I think with two loose, with us not seeing anything like the tail yet, it's not the worst place in the world. I mean, it's certainly if there's a loose item here, it's going to put him probably miles ahead.
We are only looking for 2 more necessary items, though, really.
We're looking for the key. We know that the loot is max price back in Onrak. I mean Gaia.
Right, so we definitely need the key, and we definitely need the Oxy Ale. We might be doing a floaterless seed today, who knows?
I mean, it's possible.
It's always fun to see one of those happen, so yeah, I'll root for it.
Gouda has a really good point that Burt Reynolds right now is actually grinding on this eye tile. He has the 2-man party, which he just hit 25 on his characters. He could take this grind all the way up to 42 if he wanted to.
Oh, absolutely. Since he has that black belt and he has the levels, he's able to punch these down no problem at this point.
And it's not a bad thing because Cheeseinator, even though he's a bit ahead right now, I think as far as like progression of the seed goes, based on where he's at with his party, he's gonna have to at least have a 32 black belt. There's nothing with the Tri-Mage that says that you can get through a deep Topher clamped without at least a 32 black belt. So he's going to have to do some kind of grind at some point.
Absolutely. And
I am interested.
He'll find another one because I don't think he's going to want to go back to those eyes. They're just too out of the way.
Yeah, it's literally probably 4 minutes out of the way just to get there. So the fact that Burt can do this right now is it's a pretty big advantage. I mean, if Cheese runs into something like, let's say, like the first trap tile in Volcano is something juicy, it's not going to kill him that bad. But the fact that I'm going to be actually pretty interested to see how high Burt goes with this. He just hit 26. Oh, he's leaving. Okay. I was going to see if he wanted how high he could actually take it, but I think he might be eyeing 32.
Yeah,
Well,
I would have been eyeing low to mid 30s there. But hey, more power to him. Hey, there may be better grinds out there today.
Well, you know what? I actually know that Burt. I think Burt thinks with his party being a 2-man party, I think he actually thinks that he can get to 42 just passively through the rest of the seed. With just the 2-man party. With everything else that he's going to kill throughout the rest of the seed, I think he thinks that he can get to 42 just throughout the rest of the. So we're gonna pay attention to see how he progresses through the seed. He's definitely gonna get these nice, morale checks where the enemies are running away because he's high. He's high level. He's a lot higher level than the party on Cheeseinator right now, even though Cheeseinator, I say, would have a pretty big lead. Interesting race, actually. We're going to have to definitely check in with Will, and Will's running the same party, basically. I don't think he's gotten to the... well, let me check his items. I think he's checked just about as much.
Yeah, and apparently he even already paid for his loot and got that out of the way.
Okay, that's going to save him a couple minutes at this point. He's definitely checking the trap tiles here in Earth, seeing if he can find anything juicy. I think Bert taking that little mini grind is actually gonna. He's definitely behind right now, but I think it's actually really smart. I think it's gonna actually pay off for him.
Yeah, he's not.
He has a lot of money.
And yeah, he'll have no problem now if he wants to go pick up those gold bracelets. Although at this point, the black belt probably doesn't need one anymore.
Gold bracelet isn't a bad idea until you hit about 33, I think it is.
He's not that far from it, though.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen any loose items at all, so I have a feeling that is going to be the thing that pushes one of our runners ahead, even though I have a feeling watching this seed right now, it feels a little bit linear, that it's the seed's pushing everybody into kind of directions that make the most sense to go to. We haven't seen anybody do anything like diving marsh just for levels or anything like that, so I actually think that after this Earth Cave dive, well, okay, never mind. I'm wrong. We got Bert going to the ice cave right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like Caleb and Bert are both headed to the ice cave, so...
Caleb... Okay. Well, we don't have any warp charges, which means we're going to have to go through this... Oh, no, never mind. Warp is level 4, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we have warp and we have exit, so... Exit's pretty much just as good if you're having to make all the chest checks anyway.
Yeah. It's only about like 15 steps shorter if you have both warp and exit, which they do, so it's easy to figure out. Caleb sees a tail.
Not what you want to see.
Nope. Though with his party is something you want to see.
Well, yes, you do want to see it. Ooh, but I do like seeing that Iron Golem.
Yeah, if this is, if they rolled low on health, oh, it doesn't look like it did, though. Looks like they rolled about 400 health.
Oh, there's our first loose item on Cheesinator's screen. Just found himself a crystal.
Okay, so that's a pretty big advantage for Cheesinator, I think, right now. A lot's going to depend on where the second loose item is. The fact that we saw the tail in an incentive location really ups the chances that the second loose item is something required.
Yeah, the more we take these non-required items out of the pool, the more it's looking like we might have to find all of them.
Have we seen the opal bracelet from
Not yet.
anything? Okay, so that there's a chance that the opal bracelet could be one of the checks. I mean, I'm sorry, the opal bracelet could be the other loose item.
Cheesinator being trolled pretty hard by the bats today. There we go. It finally lets him get to that chest.
Okay, I think something that, you know, if there's nothing loose here in the ice cave, it's gonna mean quite a bit for how this seed progresses. Got a black shirt though.
Just as a heads up for what we have going on Will's screen, you may have noticed he's kind of been standing there for a while. He's having a bit of audio-visual difficulties with his stream. Caleb finds the rock goals. Or wait, no, the rock goals. I was thinking the iron goals. Looks like there's a whole lot of golems going around down here in the ice cave.
I'm sorry, my stream froze a little bit.
And Cheesinator has taken a wipe.
Ooh, don't sit on that long, you're ahead.
Well, he was ahead, but now he has to redo Earth.
Well, he knows.
At least he knows that just to pick up the crystal this time. We knew Earth could potentially cause some trouble with those arachnids, though, since we saw that earlier.
Yeah, those frost arachnids. I said that Mars was going to be the problem. I forgot they were on that floor. Definitely makes Earth a bit of a tough grind. Though I think not. We haven't seen anything really good from the ice cave at all. There's certainly about 4 more chests that we have here, but which we see a ribbon. But be interested to see if Caleb goes volcano next, or all these runners in the ice cave. Just want to let you guys all know that after this race that we have an Iron Goal match between Will Budworth, who is in the top right of this screen getting a bit of a warm-up, against Dark Moon X in our new thing that we have, which is Iron Goal, which is kind of like a pro wrestling type heavyweight title that we have right now that people are trying to vie for rankings to go after our champion, which right now is Spellzap. After this race, though, the race between those two is going to be on Dangwoo's channel. He is re-streaming that. If anybody else wants some more FFR after this race. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, it's Triple Threat. Gregory Puff's getting it also. They are playing a seed where they are playing solo black belt. The entire seed. Just one character, solo black. Just a little fun thing that we have on the side, outside of our competitions. You know, just for fun, for people to get some races together. Yeah, it's going to be a interesting race. I mean, I think with solo black belt, there's definitely some things that could... there definitely could be some stops in that race. But, you know, if you find something to get that black belt up to at least 21... 21 equals 32, 32 equals 42, and then you could just run through the seed.
Yeah, the trick is going to be getting started for them tonight.
Exactly. We're going to have probably a decent amount of punching some imps for probably 30.
Oh, nice. The Ice Cave decided to give us a white shirt tonight as well, it looks like.
Okay, so there are some really good items there, but nothing that's going to actually push us towards the end of the seed. Um, Again, interested to see Caleb at this point if he's going to choose Volcano or Earth at this point. Either is a decent choice. He has the rod, so he could full clear Earth. You don't need any items to full clear. Volcano, I think if I was in his point, I would probably do Volcano because just the density of chests.
Yeah, I really like Volcano for its chest density. Cheese and are going to give us our first look at a Fiend tonight, though. It's just Lich. He should be able to handle this.
Well, he's got a bit of a problem right now. Oh, wow, he got away with all of his party low. But he did get through an interactive fight.
Thankfully, he got away. I would have felt terrible for cursing him otherwise. Wow, round 1 Thunder. Lich is not messing around today.
Though low on the HP, so Cheesenator is going to light our first orb here at the 56-minute. Yeah, like Boss Ruin says, Earth is very needed right now. Really not a friendly place at all. Just rough for an Earth Seed. I think that Cheese's next move is going to be to get back on his ship and go to Matoya's Cape, turn in that crystal, see what it gets out.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be really happy if that turns into something good and he's found a loose item yielded.
There's a high chance of it too, because we know he doesn't know that the ice cave isn't really bringing us progression.
Caleb did head down to that volcano, and he has a nice stick on one of his people that'll help him out with Cherry should he make it there.
Ooh, we got the key.
That's a nice find. That'll be another free item.
Yeah, you can check out Cornerio locked. He's very close to it. Very close to checking a lot of chests.
I used to be a huge fan of checking all the locked after I get it. I'm not sure if I'm quite as big of a fan of it anymore.
I usually skip TOF check myself. Though in this situation, and of course Marsh locked, I wouldn't check. In this situation, I'm definitely going to check Corneria, I'm going to check Dwarf Cave, I'm going to check Northwest Castle, and I'm going to check Alpha. We got the Mass Immune for Caleb in Volcano Armory.
We sure do. That's going to definitely put in some work. I like how we put it on the White Mage, too.
Ooh, we got the Opal Bracelet in Corneria, which means... Let me do some math in my head. Let me look at the flag. Do we have a loose floater?
Maybe?
Check me on this.
Yeah, I'm like going through the math in my head, and I'm...
They have the slab. They have the slab, but they can't turn in the slab. The loot is loose. I think we got a loose floater. And with the slab turn-in
Will
possibly
probably be
being
our
required,
Oxio.
it could be required.
I think you're right. I think it's probably a loose floater with Oxio being our slab turn.
Okay, Thundercloud's telling me adamant hasn't been found yet. Let me check to see.
That's valid. I mean, it could be loose adamant that leads to floater or something like that.
I think that actually makes sense because we've seen Ice, we've seen Ordeals, we've seen Titan Shows, we've seen Corneria Locked, and I think we've seen every other NPC, main NPC fetch at this point.
Right. So it's either the floater or leads to the floater, in which case the slab would lead to the adamant, which would lead to the thing, which, wow, that would not be a fun Oxio to have to hunt up.
And you never know, it could be in March at this point.
It absolutely could be. This could be one of those full clear days where you just clear everything and be like, oh, I have to go to March.
Got another ribbon, though, from the Northwest Castle.
Burt Reynolds picking up his Masa as well. He's got a lot of firepower between those two light warriors now.
Based off what we've seen, right now, I kind of actually really like where Cheese is right now. As far as the just how the seed is played out and what he's done. I really like where he's at right now. I think he's going to 100% check. Well, he hasn't gone to Ice yet, so I think that's probably his next deck right now. Actually, now that I said that, I'm not actually 100% sure. Oh no. Did Will just beat Lich and then run into a bunch of Arachnids?
Looks like he got away, though. He'll be doing all right.
So I think, I could be wrong, but I think the progression on this seed is going to be loose adamant that's going to turn into floater, or it's going to be loose floater that turns into the slab turn-in being adamant that will be Oxio. I think that's how it has to work.
Those are our two threads that I think are pretty much, it's going to be one or the other at this point.
Interestingly, down in Caleb's, we got a solo white mage
grind
with a Massimian.
Yeah, I saw him put the Masa on the white mage earlier. I don't think the solo grinding is intentional. I think he's just out of life charges, maybe.
He's got an exit charge. Heck yeah, we just gotta go for the solo white mage strats. So we got Cheesinator checking out the ice cave. That we know that there's some good items down here, but nothing that's going to push him further into the seed.
Yeah, not what he's actually looking for, I'm sure.
Got Burt Reynolds here deep into the volcano. A very high level party also. And a quad chimera fight on the trap tile. I believe he's already 32 because he's hitting for 8 hits right now.
Caleb unfortunately finds that same tile, but with the solo white mage it doesn't go nearly as well.
I kind of like where Bird is right now.
Bert's liking the tile so much.
Well, he's checking out that one tile there, the volcano
the
incentive.
Red Dragon room. Not incentivized tonight, but still, you gotta check it. It could be your loose item.
He's already checked the ice cave, so his next check is probably Earth Cave at this point.
Most likely. Will turning in his crystal since he also did that Earth Cave.
Fast on a 32 black belt feels real good about right now. With the clan boss.
This carry's not long for the world.
Alright, Burt Reynolds is our first to clear the fire orb. No floater right now. He's going to have to canoe and sail his way over to the Earth Cave.
There's still Sky as a valid option.
Of course, yeah. We learned, I learned today that with the flags that we have on right now, that they have access to the full Sky Cave right now.
I mean, we know Earth is good. It does contain stuff they want, so Earth is not a bad play at all. But I just want to know if Sky is good.
Gloom Chew, where else is there? The only other place is Marsh, but nobody in their right mind would go to Marsh right now because there's nothing incentivized in Marsh. There's about 20 chests. I don't know the exact number, but there's a fair amount of chests in Marsh, but they would only be going there on the prayer that one of the loose items is in Marsh. So how this is going to work is if they go through Marsh and they go through, if they go through Sky and they go through Earth and they don't find the other item, then they have to go to Marsh.
Indeed. The only way I would be headed to Marsh now is if I certainly felt to myself that I was behind and I needed a big play.
It's really tough in a quad match to feel you're behind unless you just ran into like some absolutely dumb RNG. I usually like playing thinking that I'm ahead. That's just me.
Yeah, I almost always feel behind. So I guess I'm kind of the opposite there.
Yeah, I don't know. Just over the couple years that I've ran this game, when I race, I usually try to feel that my opponents have had worse luck than me, and that I'm just trying to play the highest percentage play that I can at every point, and that I hope that my opponent has gotten worse luck than me, and that I hope that me, by playing what I feel like is the highest percentage play at every time, is going to give me the highest chance to win. Except when I run against Crab Cakes or Spell Zap, they'll just beat me.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely valid. It's certainly a low percentage play to go for Marsh now. It's not at all recommended.
Yeah, it would absolutely be if anybody did Marsh at this point right now, it would be like a hill. And like Ava said, there's arachnids in Marsh.
That there are.
And arachnids are not our friend in this seed.
Will fighting more of those wonderful arachnids. They're not nearly as bad now that we have at least one ribbon on. I think all of our runners have at least one at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think Marsh would be like super dangerous at this point. It's just you're spending about 8 to 10 minutes in there for something that you're not at all guaranteed is going to be worthwhile. Marsh might be the big brain play. I mean, it might actually work out. We don't know. I think we're down to, at this point, it's Sky or Marsh. I think anybody would actually do Sky first because Sky is an objective that you have to do. So, we're going to do Sky. We have to do Sky. So let's just full clear Sky and hope the item is there.
There's a few other checks I would do before even making that. I don't believe anybody has checked Toph locked yet either.
We saw Will just do that.
Ah, did he? Wonderful. So yeah, since we're currently still locked out of C, it's pretty much Sky.
Cheesenator is going to leave Ice right now, with his knowledge that he got some good gear in here, but nothing really good. So, actually, he has to go to Volcano next. I actually think Bert is ahead right now. Because Bert
could be.
Bert's about 3 minutes away from finishing this. Let me think about it for a second.
The fact that a lot of the stuff down here will be running from him by this point is certainly making his Earth dive a little bit cleaner than some of the others we've seen.
So Bert's going to find the first loose item here in a couple minutes. He's going to clear this dungeon in a couple more minutes after that. Cheesenator has to full clear Volcano.
Right, but even after Bert does that, then he'll get the key like everyone else and still have to sail around and probably check the key check.
Yeah, I'm really interested to actually see how this is going to like merge together in like the next 15 minutes. I'm actually just thinking who I actually think is ahead right now. I want to give the edge to Bert a little bit because he's the one with the 32 black belt, which I still think that
Marsh.
I still think that Cheese is gonna have to take some time to get a 32 black belt. Like if you're running a black belt, you want to get him to 32. I don't think anybody in their right mind would want to do a clamped 200% seed with like a 23 black belt.
Oh no, he'll definitely have to hit 32, I think. Will, the hero of the people, checking Marsh for us.
This could actually be huge.
Huge or sad, one of the two.
He's got another race after this, so let's go big.
Nothing good in top, resets out.
I really think that
he exited. Just as good as a reset.
Chat, tell me if I'm wrong, but I really think that Bert should be putting his red mage in the bottom slot.
I don't know that I'd agree with that. He has the opal on it, so I mean it's very defensive. May as well split the damage.
Okay, if he has an opal, that's fine. Because opal's bigger than you could possibly get for absorb for a black belt until like 44.
And I lied. He doesn't have the opal.
Okay.
Because that was Corneria Lock, which he hasn't turned into crystal and gone there yet. So I guess he probably only has a gold.
Okay, so we got Will Bloodworth checking out Marsh for us, which is going to give us, the commentators, quite a bit of information. So we have Bert right now, who's completely full cleared Earth, and he's on his way to Lich, who's going to not give him. Lich has some stuff, but not going to give him any kind of a challenge.
Not in the least. Lich is going to be a nice smeared speed bump very soon.
Nice to see Lich. Goodbye. Let's check in with Caleb. Caleb is in the Earth Cave right now. Has not found the loose item yet. He's on floor 3. Has full cleared fire. So he's in this.
Yeah,
Though I'm
he's
not
just a few minutes behind Bert. Nothing huge.
Going into this, I wasn't a huge fan of his party, but you know, he's got a knight with like 500 HP. That's, you know, nothing to to scoff at, especially if the clan bosses roll a little closer to 100%, not 200%.
And we did find the Massa today, which is one of those things you're not quite guaranteed to find in these flags since it is loose out there somewhere.
I think the next 10 minutes of this here is going to tell us a lot.
Yeah, once everyone converges, probably in there, we'll have a lot more information on who's actually got a lead.
So have we seen? I haven't really been looking at Will's screen that often. Has he found anything good in Marsh?
Not that I have seen yet. I didn't notice that down in Volcano. We got a nice slime tile. That's not terrible to see.
So Bert's going to check a lot of key locks right now. He's on two orbs right now. He's our only runner on 2 orbs. Cheese is not that far off 2 orbs. He's headed there right now, but he's done all these key lock chests right now. So I think these two are going to merge together actually pretty quick. Bert being the 32 black belt, I feel a little happy about.
Yeah, just with a two-man party, it's like, oof, that can be rough.
Well, that two-man party, I mean, it's a risk. I mean, if you can't get off the, if that level 1 magic is shit and the shuffled towns aren't giving you anything that you can do, you're gonna be in trouble. Like, this is a risky party that has kind of worked out.
I don't know my red mage slots as well as I should. I'm not. Did the red mages have access to life 1?
I don't remember where Life 1 was myself.
Our wonderful tracker apparently says it was at slot 4 for level 4.
I remember that there was I think Cure 4 was only White Mage learnable on level 4 myself.
I mean, I guess with a two-man party, if one of your people goes down, you do want to be able to bring them back up, but for that fight, you're already in serious trouble.
Has anybody in the chat seen what Cheesenator's black belt level is right now?
Not quite 32 yet, since it was just 6 hits, probably.
So he's between 21 and 32 right now. Okay, so we have Cheesenator with his second orb right now, tying up Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds is still on the key, Mystic Key treasure check. Just found his ribbon. This is going to merge together pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Cheese might have a little bit of an advantage headed into this.
Because I think Bert right now is going to go to the southern port to check Elfland. We got Caleb going to Matoya. He's in this race, I think. Oh, well, he found the key. He's going to have to check some things.
Right, yeah. He's pretty consistently just a few minutes behind Bird, it looks like. He's following in that same path.
Ragnarok, I think from what we've seen and the God knowledge that we have being the spectators, I think either the floater is going to be loose in sky or the adamant is going to be loose in sky that leads to the floater. But we have Cheese making the marsh move, which is something I would not have done at this point.
He may be under the same impression you were, though, that Sky might not be reachable on open progression. That's always a possibility. Some of us, I mean, I myself don't know where half the ports are half the time, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't sure myself. I played this game for 3 years, but because they make all these changes all the time, and I'm not entirely sure, but you know, it's a pretty free check. About 20 chests. There's about 40. I think there's about 35 chests in Sky that you can check. So I would definitely, if I thought that I could do Sky right now, I'd be doing Sky. And we got Bert and Marsh also. So they either think this is a smart play right now, or this is where they've merged together. Cheese is about 2 minutes ahead.
This is where they merged together, but it was not what we were expecting.
I think Bert, even though he might be a couple minutes behind on the actual checks, I think that his party is going to pull ahead. These are
having the levels is big.
These are the Artea strats where having like a two-man party is just faster all the time. Because you're doing less inputs for every run, you're doing less inputs for every fight.
The only question is will Topher let you live with only 2 members? Which, yeah, sometimes it does.
I mean, I think Bert's plan is that his black belt's going to be so beefy at that point, running a 2-man the whole time. I mean, he said this in the Discord the whole time, that he thinks he's going to be so... He thinks this party is going to be 42 by the time he hits Topher, with doing no grinding.
Yeah, that's no guarantee that Kraken doesn't punch your black belt in the face, though.
There's no guarantee, but if you have an 800 HP black belt, then
you can usually take a hit, but still sometimes
you can take
go your way.
A hit. That's why I'm worried about Caleb, because I think there's gonna be a good chance with his party that he's not gonna be able to get the evasion up that he needs to survive a 100% clamped 200% Kraken 2. I mean, that Kraken 2 is gonna have at the very least 900 HP. You can't one-round that. There's nothing you can do in the game that's going to one-round 900 damage.
Yeah, I think he'll probably be alright. I don't know. I'm not usually afraid of 200% clamps. You know, if he finds the defense sword, he can almost evade cap the fighter in 1 round.
No. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's 100% possible that Caleb's party can win a deep Topher with this party. But I would want one of those black mages to be a black belt. Just even if you were like holding it, even if you were danning it, hoping. Like at this point, I really think that people in this. You know, they underestimate what clamp bosses can do, especially in Topher, especially deep Topher. Like 1 wipe in deep Topher is like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Like it doesn't take more than 6 minutes to take a black belt from 32 to 42.
The safety of a black belt is pretty nice to have on your side, absolutely.
Avos Ruin, is that why there's so many black belts? Tough Topher. Yes. I would say these flags are a little bit tough right now. What we're doing right now is clamped 200%, which means that every boss in the game has between 100% and 200% of their vanilla stats of the game. What we usually do in the randomizer is that the max can be up to 200%, but then like the lower end of the stats can go down to like 40%. So we can, you could run into a carry 2 in Topher that has like 300 HP and you could one-round it. But the thing is with clamped is hard because every single boss is going to be at the very least as hard as they could be in the vanilla game. In the vanilla game, you want at least like a mid-20s fighter party. I've speedrun the game myself quite a bit, and you want at least a fighter at like 21. You want a mass immune, you want fast, you want these things to actually get through the game. And these stats can actually be higher than that. The absorb, the HP, the evade can actually be more than one. They will be basically more than 100% of the vanilla stats. And a 32 black belt is better than a 32 knight at basically every point. And it only really hits that point at 32. That's when the black belt hits another 2 hits and he starts blasting people apart. So in any kind of a seed that you would want a 32 fighter, you would want a 32 black belt instead. Now on the lower difficulties, you wouldn't want to ever do a black belt because a black belt's never better than a knight until they're 32. So a knight is always better than a black belt until 32. And if you have a party that can actually beat the game before 32, you would always want a knight. So, but with this kind of flags, I think going into it, you really have to think that you need at least a 32 black belt. That's just at least my thought going into it. Sorry, I ran it a little bit.
No, that was great. I pretty much, that makes a lot of sense to me when you put it that way. Going in with the plan that you will at least be hitting 32 pretty much means the black belt has some serious advantages.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem with the clamp, though, when it comes to the knights, is the absorb and the evade ratings are going to be clamped at 100% of what they are, but they can go up to a 200%, which really means that you need fast, which our people have. Fast was level 2, which is good, but you're also going to kind of probably need lock 2 to get the evasion to the point that you need to actually do some damage. You need a power bonk, and the problem is like you need a power bonk, but at the same time, power bonk takes turns to actually ramp up, and if one of these gatekeepers rolls high, then you're not going to have the levels to actually do what you want to do.
Yeah, we also haven't, unfortunately, not seen Temper yet, which means it's either going to be at level 7 or 8, and that's not pretty.
Yeah, well, Power Gauntlet was incentivized, so we have that at least, but Power Gauntlet is 1 round on your DPS character doing nothing but Power Gauntling himself. Well, you run the risk of all your mages getting one-shot the whole time.
Which, if you've been playing the game for any amount of time, I'm sure you've seen that they love to do when you're not paying attention and when you least expect it. Bert made really short work of that marsh and has been just burning through Scott.
Yeah. Thunder made a good point in chat that Bert's actually a little low on health pots, and health pots is really his only way of healing consistently. It could be a problem in the upper levels because he's trying to full clear the whole thing. We see Cheesenator coming in. I'm not up to date on the levels of Cheesenator's black belt. Looks like he has like 400 HP, which tells me he's in the mid to upper 20.
Yeah, it looks like he's still shy of that 32 mark.
Bert is standing still. P-break.
That would be my guess.
we're checking in with the other two runners. We've been paying a lot of attention to Cheese and Bert because they look like they've been pushing ahead, but Caleb has 2 Fiends down as well, and he has basically everything else that the runners have. I don't know if he's had to do the looks like he's on his way to Mirage right now, which, like I've said before, I don't like his party and this kind of flag set. I mean, I could be proved wrong. He could have enough levels right now to beat the game, but you know, I would be worried if I was piloting Caleb's team.
Right, and Will's just a little bit further behind that, finishing up Volcano now, and after that he'll probably be headed there to Sky as well.
Yeah, that's the only way that the seed's been quasi like pointing everybody in a certain direction. There was a bit of a you know, we could have gone to Earth, we could have gone to Volcano, we could have done the key checks, but at the end of the day, it kind of pushed everybody to this point.
Hey, I was saying Sky die an hour ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what would have happened if somebody actually went to Sky earlier in this? I mean, we don't know at this point.
We won't know until 5 minutes from now when an off-stream runner decides to done on us, surprisingly, maybe.
It's probably going to be Salty Fry. Guy is a legend of this game. Just came back.
It's really good to see a lot of the old-timers come back with our spring tournament coming up.
Yeah, for sure. I played against Salty Fry quite a bit. He's 100% like at his best, he's a top 5 runner in this game. And he's in this race too. Other runners in this that are off stream, Edgeworth, which is the 2018 champion, he's off stream. Sho Fukunapi, sorry, I just butchered that. Sho Fukumachi, very strong runner. He's in the top 15 of SRL. So there's some really strong runners off stream right now.
Speaking of spring tournaments and former champions, if any of our viewers out there haven't checked out the randomizer itself, there's plenty of people on the Discord happy to help you get started learning the routes. If all you do is watch, that's fine too, but we would love to have you run with us.
Okay, so Bert found the floater. It was in the top right of the spider room, which all of our runners are going to have to get that, because that is going to lead to that's going to lead to their airship, which is going to lead to their slab turn-in, which is going to lead to probably the adamant, which is going to lead to the Oxio.
Yeah.
And then we're at this point, we're just in a race.
So once he's done here, we have a few minutes of him just going all around the world doing a bunch of turn-ins.
And I think I just saw Bert hit like 37 on his black belt.
Of course, he didn't let us see a certain robot chicken today.
Yeah, we had vanilla Warmech on these seeds, so
yeah, nothing guaranteed tonight.
Oh, we got a stunned black belt. Okay. One shot from the red mage actually finished it. That team at 1 has about 2,000 HP, it looked like. He hit for a lot of damage, a couple times.
It looks like Cheesinator is trying to dan off some of his party and is going to be grinding sandworms with that black belt. Not a bad grind, but if that black belt ends up getting stunned like Burt Reynolds did, that could lead to some scary moments at T. Unfortunately, it looks like even his Dan party members are a little too high a level, and some of these sandworms are already starting to run away from. That's one of the unfortunate problems with a sandworm grind, is their morale is not great. Burt picking up his airship and headed straight to that Gaia location as expected.
And this is what I thought we would see, that Cheesinator right now is taking a grind spot on this sandworm tile on Mirage 3, which is time that he's spending trying to get up to 32, which Burt has already done. And
yeah, they're not a fantastic grind. It's going, but it's not fantastic.
It's an okay grind, but every minute that he's doing this, he's hit 28 on both his characters. I think he's going to sit here till he's at least 32. I mean, that only makes sense. Maybe he stops a little short of 32, thinking that he's going to get the rest of the experience on the way. But every minute that he's doing this, Burt Reynolds is finishing the seed. He just went to Lefane, finished that. He looked like he's going to the Dwarf Cave right now to finish that part of the fetch quest. He's going straight to the Sea Shrine after that. He's just basically going to walk through the Sea Shrine unless there's something absolutely nasty. There's the Oxyale from the Dwarf. And yeah, I would say Burt Reynolds right now probably has a Topher dive lead on everybody else. When I say a Topher dive lead, I mean that you could die in Topher and still be ahead.
I'd agree with that statement, likely.
I don't know if we have a go mode on the tracker, but Burt Reynolds right now is the only person to go.
Yeah, so he won't be checking anything in C. I would be surprised even if he checks the greed chest, because I don't think there's a thing he could find that would make him happy.
Especially with his party, there's nothing. He has a he has an opal bracelet, he has a ribbon, he has a pro cape, he has a pro ring. There's absolutely nothing with his party that he could want. So I think that this is probably going to be like a 4-minute sea sign drive, unless there's something stupid like lobsters have nuke or something like that. I mean, this is going to be like a 4-minute sea sign dive, and then he's going to be off. And like I foreseen, we got Cheeseinator just hit 32. So he at least spent about 3-4 minutes there getting his party where he wanted them to. And now he's ready to. He still has to full dive the rest of the Sky Castle to find that floater, to go down to Lafine, to get the adamant. I mean, he's, you know, this has been really, really. I mean, I've seen Bert talk about this kind of strategy in chat, and he's really actually pulled it off really well. I don't know if I would ever do it myself because I'm kind of a big fan of like the fighter thief red black party myself. Just thinking that I can get it done with a mid-20s team, but you know, clamp bosses are no joke. Yeah, Ragnarok. I've seen him talk about it in the Discord. Like, this is a party that he really thinks is like really good. Like, he thinks that if he can take this solo, this 2-man party, black belt, red mage, if he thinks he can actually get this black belt to at least 21, he thinks he's good, which he is, because he thinks at the end of this run, he's going to be 42 on this black belt with really doing no grind. He can one-shot these single, like, you know, this troll that just shows up. He can just one-shot it, and he can get all this basic EXP from it. I'm not a huge fan of it myself because I think with the loose items, I think it kind of a little bit kind of goes towards fighters and knights, because if you're checking all these chests for loose items, I think that you're going to find enough gear for a fighter to become OP. Exactly what Gregory Puff said. If there was nothing good, White Matt, and he almost died there on.
Yeah, that was a little scary. Kraken almost showed us the flaw in a 2-man party.
Yeah. Like I said, if you go into this kind of party, which I seen that he did none for his other two. If you go into this party with just black belt, red mage, and there's really not that great of black magic at level 1, and the only places that you can get into are, you know, Vanilla Provoca and Vanilla Elfland, and they are shuffled to being like Lafine and Gaia, and you don't really have any good spells, that kind of party can just, you lose from party select.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of nuns. I at least like to bring something to give myself the options, and then I can kill them off.
Exactly.
Sure, you lose a little bit of experience in the early fights, but that's not a huge difference.
If I would have played this myself, I would have played fighter, black belt, red mage, black mage, and I would have danned off the fighter if I thought that I could. And the beauty about doing like a 3-man party like that is after you get the EXP bonus, you can bring back the fighter. You know, say he's like a level 8 fighter who has like 200 HP. But you can bring back this fighter here in the air dungeon with like, you know, this, you know, 80% EXP bonus. And when you're just tearing through them, you can get enough EXP for your knight to get to like level 16, which actually could, like, you know, soak a Kraken 2 hit.
Yeah, especially once you throw some dragon armor on him. If you find a defense sword, that's all he's going to be doing. He's not there for damage.
Yeah, he's there to take a hit. And I think with this, you know, too loose, I think you're going to check enough chests to have enough gear for even like a 16 knight to be useful. Not your actual main carry, but to be useful. I just think it's risky. I mean, it actually worked out 100% well for him.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's working out fantastic. So
I don't think he's going to have really a ton of problems here in Topher unless there's an absolute nasty gatekeeper, because he's on 42 black belt. He has fast, so he's going to be hitting 20 hits on his black belt, and he's close to 900 HP on his 826 HP on his black belt. He's good, but I think it's a little risky from the get-go. I mean, I think this is the kind of party that could fall 20 minutes behind just on RNG.
At this point, I would probably back row that red mage, though, just because if it goes down, you are losing your fast and everything else.
Yeah, when I get him in the interview, I'm going to ask him about having the red mage in the second slot the whole time. Especially after he got 32, because there's just it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, before Topher, I can understand splitting the damage. I guess he doesn't have heal, so it doesn't make a huge difference since he's not able to heal both at the same time.
If he moves the red mage down at Kraken 2, then it makes sense to me. But if he's just going to do this for the rest of the way, it just makes no sense to me, because like Greg said, Kraken can just one-shot the red mage.
Oh, absolutely. Carrie can too if she rolls high.
Yeah, it's clamped 200%. 100% just could slap that red mage to death. I maybe that solo 43-ish black belt could actually just beat the game from there, but
it could. Me and Gregley had a 200% clamped race just the other day where our black belt soloed the second half of Topher, both of them. But it's certainly not how you want to do Topher, and you'll find yourself clinching a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's actually, we're up to carry 2. This is the first boss on Clamped that things are going to get nasty, because I think actually with this party, it's actually not going to be that bad, because I think you actually one-shot him. I think with a party that I would have put here, you can't one-shot this boss, but I think he can actually just one-shot him right here. And look at that, down to 50, yep. 2,150 HP down, but the red mage almost died. If that red mage dies, there's no more fast. And if you hit a fiend with high evade, those punches aren't going to do as much. That being said, I think Bert has run an absolutely fucking brilliant seed so far, and he's probably 10 minutes ahead just based on the way he's played it. But I think there's a couple. I mean, he just got hit for 550 damage on his black belt. If he gets hit again, it's over. It's over.
Yep, pretty much. At least he got some hits off on the Kraken to try and get a little information about its evade. And it looks like he's going in search of... Oh, he's going to promote to get that red mage a little bit more magic.
You see, the thing is, I think I'm not 100% sure that he played that Topher correctly, but I don't see anybody on his heels that it's going to take advantage of it. I think he's that much ahead.
Yeah,
when
I'm not sure what he could have done all that much differently. It's not like his red mage got back road or anything like that. It's just Kraken's gonna Kraken sometime.
well, I think what you can do is you can not pick none, and you can have somebody that even if they're level 3, you can put in the front row to take a hit.
Oh no, I completely agree. I do not like the nuns. But I meant like at this point, now that he's in Topher, he doesn't exactly have a choice to change.
That's true. Yeah. We'll see how it goes again. I mean, Caleb's probably a good 5 minutes away from even trying Topher, but if there's another deep wipe, he could be in it. Though, I'm not 100% sure his party can actually do it.
I haven't seen anything yet so far that makes me think it couldn't.
I've seen a slap happy Kraken too that says it can't do it. If a 42 black belt can't get through it, then a 20-something knight can't.
Yeah, you get enough in biz charges up there.
But how's that going to happen? Is there a defense sword? There's one white mage.
Yeah, and a white shirt, so that's at least 2 around.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean,
But yeah, I haven't seen the defense sword either, so unless they grabbed it somewhere and we all missed it.
Caleb has some pretty good levels on his whole team.
Yeah, except for, I think it's Egg 2, who was stoned for like the first hour of the run.
We got Bert
He has enough levels now that he has a couple nuke charges. He'll be nice to have around.
Got Bert on try number 2. Down to the earth floor. Nobody on Topher yet, so gotta be feeling good. Got Caleb going to Kraken 1.
Yeah, which from the looks of it, Kraken 1 was a little slap happy as well. So this will be a good preview.
Yeah, for sure.
Part of me kind of hopes that White Mage takes a quick dive.
Got Life 2 and Fade on the White Mage on Cheesenator, but he's still got about a 5-minute dive here for, C. But we're getting to the point that if there's another wipe there for Bert, this is wide open.
Right, and we still haven't seen Tia 2 or Chaos.
And from off stream, we actually have Edgeworth, who finished first in a time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 23 seconds.
That's a solid time.
Yeah. And he's saying in chat that he played Black Belt, Thief, Red Mage, Black Mage, which is a really good party, I think, that I think in this kind of seed, I think that's a really strong point.
Yeah, there's a lot of love for thieves these days. They may not get the HP of everyone else, but just their ability to run and the fact that with all the changes we have, they actually become at least a viable melee damage deal. Bert back on that sea floor again. It's definitely my least favorite Topher floor. The floor itself is just unhappy. Kraken 2 makes me unhappy. The whole floor is not where I want to be. Caleb having a little bit of trouble with that Kraken 1. It looks like it was slap happy enough to take out not only the knight, but one of his black mages at this point. This could get a little dicey.
Sorry.
There's Kraken again doing Kraken things, almost one-shotting that red.
He's only hitting for 465. This Kraken 2 can have up to 1800 HP. Oh, but he got through it. Okay. So, sorry I missed that. I was too busy challenging my friend in the Iron Gall tournament to a match.
Not at all. It's all good. Just over 2 hours, and we're getting ready to see Tia 2. See how this finishes out for Bert.
T-Mat 2 he's gonna roll between 1100 to 2200 HP. Not to mention all the stats that can run between 100% and 200%. So there's a dead red mage, and he's not gonna get up. No defense sword. He's gotta pray for spells, I think. Okay, he got through it. So we're gonna be on to Chaos. And Chaos is gonna roll between 2000 HP to 4000 HP. At the very least 2000, with no fast, no defense sword. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot you can do at this point. I probably wouldn't bother with the white shirt personally. I'd stick him in slot 3, hold A, and pray all the way. But Bert playing the safe route, using that white shirt, looking pretty good so far. Five hits, 303 damage. Ooh, 3 hits. Looking a little evasive. Oh, excuse me there. Looking a little evasive today, Chaos.
He's hitting for about 400 rounds, so if he rolled low on HP, this is doable. Looks like he's heavy on the spells.
Yeah, and not dangerous ones either. I haven't seen any sort of new come out.
No, it's just some instant death and some lightning twos.
GG Burt Reynolds with a
Burt
final hit by
Reynolds.
Meanwhile, Cheese and Caleb making their first dives down. We'll hopefully have
Yeah.
Burt here in a minute to give us our insight on how he saw this scene. Cheeseinator offering his mages up as sacrifices to this carry too.
Yeah. Burt Reynolds really showed the power of the 42 black belt. We're definitely going to ask him about when he gets in here, if he does about the nuns. I mean, how he feels about that. I'm really interested to see his thought process about that, because I mean, it definitely worked out for him, this seed, but you know, there's some strategy in there that I think we would all like to learn a little bit about.
Yeah, it looks like Bert's not up for talking tonight, but he is going to be hanging out in the chat room, and I'm sure he'll be happy to answer people's questions.
Oh, okay.
Caleb making not the shortest of work, but solid effort there, taking out carry 2. Still no issues here in this Topher.
We got Cheeseinator with his full mage party taking on Kraken 2 for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about having that black belt up front for this fight.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of. Like, that black belt needs to get down a little bit.
Maybe not. Apparently Cheeseinator did find that defense sword.
Definitely has more offensive magic to get through this. I don't know if any kind of life spell was learnable for a red mage.
Yeah, like I said, that's one of the things I still need to learn better is my red mage spell slot.
Yeah, me too. It's been 3 years and I still don't know it. Well, he got through it pretty easy. Not super easy, but he still has three of his 4 light warriors still alive. Certainly doesn't have a black belt that's as high as Burt had. Not sure we've seen anything super nasty out of Teamet 2.
Just the one nuke that we saw.
We know that Chaos is a little nice to us.
Yeah, Chaos looks like he will be the least of our worries tonight.
We got Caleb there on Kraken 2, and we're going to see how this Knight group actually does.
I think the Knight group will be fine. I'm a little worried for his white mage in that second slot.
He's hitting for 700 damage on Kraken. This Kraken rolled pretty high on HP. And that white mage is dead.
Yep, that's what I was afraid of.
Well, we're gonna see if the we still gonna have a fast caster there for Tiamat 2, which Tiamat 2 is taking quite a bit of turns there for Cheese.
That said, if that knight makes it to Chaos, I think it can get the job done.
He does have bonk. He does have defense. It's do that in a prayer. So there's a nuke coming for that black mage.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that nuke because we do know it's coming.
Got Cheese Nader about to take his first try here on Chaos, just with a solo black belt. That black belt is nowhere near as high as Bert's was. Did Will stop playing? I know he has another match after this. Oh no, he's never mind.
Yep, nope, Will's still making his way. Gonna finish up C here in a minute. And then be right in with the thick of him in Topher.
Well, we got a max defense up black belt and at least 4 bonk, now 5 bonks on the black belt. And we'll see how in for 367. You want to bonk a little more than that.
That was
Off
only
stream,
one hit, though.
I'm sorry, Sho Fukumachi off stream finished in 3rd place with 2 hours, 12 minutes, 34 seconds.
Yeah, I knew Chaos was evasive, but woo. Yeah.
Ooh,
Pretty
there's
evasive.
a nuclear. Nuclear only hit for 87 though, so black belt OP.
And Caleb's black belt actually survives Tia too.
His knight and he doesn't have a black belt.
I meant black mage.
So he's gonna be able to get hopefully a fast off on this knight. Oh, did Slow 2 get hit on this black belt?
I don't think so. Although, judging from how few hits, it might have. I know Chaos is evasive, but I don't think he was quite that evasive.
Yeah, chat's saying he got the Slow 2.
That's ugly.
Okay, we got bonking up on Caleb.
She's doing everything he can to try and find a loop here.
Okay, so we got Caleb finished at the time in 3rd place of 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 22 seconds.
GG
With
Caleb.
the non-black belt party that I was hating on the whole time. but worked out. And Cheesenator wiped on Chaos and has forfeited from the race.
Hate to see that, but I completely understand it. I've been there.
Yeah, for sure.
So now it's just us and Will, who is pretty much in go mode now. All he has to do is head down to Topher and check out what Chaos has to offer us today. See if Caleb wants to join us tonight. See how he thought of the seed. And Cheesenator as well. Oh, I see Caleb outside the booth just waiting to jump up here and tell us how it went. Hello, Caleb.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
That was an attempt at a galaxy brain that did not pan out at all.
Which one was that?
Checking all the key locks, including Marsh, I lost like probably 13 minutes there, I think, because I finished. I did all that, looking at my splits right after I killed Lich at an hour 20, and I saw when I reset back to my boat, it was like an hour 33, hour 34. I was like, ah, crap! I just lost 15 minutes there almost. So that felt bad. But if the loose floater had been there, I would have felt real good.
You would have. Everyone else would have as well. Everyone made that play.
Oh wow! I figured with early Chime and Cube, everybody would be going to Sky as the first Fiend Dungeon to go to.
I was calling for it. I was in here chanting Sky, Sky, Sky.
Yeah, when I found the Crystal in Earth 4, I felt real good about that. Because like, no one's going to come to Earth before Sky. And they're going to full clear Sky looking for the key or the floater or something. And then it felt real bad. I mean, I guess up until right before Edge finished, I was like, maybe I am doing okay, or Topher is just a nightmare waiting for me. And Topher was pretty scary. I made the rookie mistake to not move my white mage out of second slot, and I mean, Kraken would have found her anyway, so it doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah, no, you did a great job. Thank you for showing us the power of the knight, because there was some skepticism about knights getting the job done.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about the black belt, but it was only clamped to 200. So usually all the quote-unquote training that I've got, like all the different vets that I talked to when I was coming up, always said, like, if it's 250, that's definite black belt, but 200 you can play with the knight, and I wasn't anticipating getting as many levels on the fighter as I did before promotion, because I wanted some of that early magic, but the Masa, well, when I saw the Vorpal in Matoya's, I was like, okay, I'm going to want to promote, because I'm probably going to need that with the clamps. And then I found Masa free in armory, and I was like, oh, okay, we're good. And then it was an interesting seed to route for sure. I felt really good about my early game routing, hitting all the towns, like getting all the different, like getting the herb before I even went to Elfland area was nice. Being able to route that in with the crown check, even though I just got the power bonk, it felt real good to route it the way I did. I think there were three vanilla towns. Yeah, it was Provoca, Crescent, and Lefane.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
So, for the people that took black belt, where did they take their grind?
Well, Burt Reynolds actually just ran the entire seed on 2-man black belt red mage none.
Wow, it's a bold strategy.
Yeah,
Especially,
and I mean it worked out. I mean he hit 42 by the end of the seed, and he found enough red magic to get his black belt up to a decent spot. And you know, he was the one player who actually had the ability to actually sit on that triple I spot in ordeals for a bit.
yeah, they were really thick. I was gonna sit there for a while too, but it took like 3 rounds of Masa swings to get him down for me.
Yeah, just with his double, I think he was 21 on his black belt at the time, so he took a lot of fights there and was successful, and it actually catapulted him up. I think Cheesenator was actually ahead for as we were viewing it at the time with like God knowledge of all where the stuff was.
Yeah.
We thought that Cheesenator was ahead for a little bit, but I think that little like mini grind that Bert did on the I tile just put him like light years ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been nice. I just instead just caught the walking grind. I did a couple spike tiles a few times just to burn off nuke charges, but I felt like I played this pretty safe. Especially with the party comp that I brought in, and luckily nuke was under level 5 and I had access to plenty of lock 2s and tempers and fast charges. Because
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like throughout the entire cast I was worried about your party being able to actually do Topher, but you proved me.
And I just pulled up to stream Will putting up a really impressive run. Did he run 2-man the whole time too?
Not the whole time. I mean, he has a couple Dans that he could pull up when he needed to, but Bart actually did the black belt red mage none.
Burt Reynolds. I'm so impressed with that dude. Came into this community like 5-6 months ago and he's just taken it by storm. I do not want to see him in spring tournament. I mean, I'll gladly get my 0-1 out of the way, but I don't think I'll see him beyond week 1. If
I mean, he's actually, I've seen him talking on the Discord about thinking that, you know, this is the party that he actually wants to play and that he actually likes is the black belt red mage 2-man party, and he showed us what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with I've tried the party, and unless it rolls like real favorable magic, I feel like it's maybe I'm getting a little gun shy in my old age.
I mean, if he was in the interview right now, I would ask him. I know he's in the chat. Like, what do you do if there's bad black magic level 1 and the town shuffle gives you nothing in Provoca and Elfland? Like,
well, at least with the 2020 Swiss flags, there is no town shuffle, so he'll at least have access to the first 4 levels of magic. So, but I guess in theory he could pop in, like, check magic, sail down to Elfland, check that magic, sail over to Provoca if level 1's bad, and see if there's anything there, and if not, just re-roll for something else. I don't know.
I mean, Nuke was level 4. It's not like magic was that bad. I mean, for a red mage, that's level 10.
And the zap rub combo was nice. Being able to double zap was pretty effective for me early on. I even got to rub a couple ogres, and then once you hit level 2, you had ice 2, and I was, you know, there's your sweeper, and fire 2 at level 3, and you know, it would have been nice to have fire 2 at level 3. I never saw lit 3. Was that 6? Level 6.
I'm not sure I saw lit 3.
Yeah. I didn't see lit 3 or ice 3, I think. I meant to go back to Gaia to get life 2, but that wouldn't have mattered in Topher anyway, so I'm kind of glad that I didn't. That would have just cost me another minute or 2.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you proved me wrong. Like, I'm looking at your party right now. You have 3 level 28 characters and 1 level 21. I mean, myself, I would be worried about, the clamp seeds. Like, I ran one last night that you absolutely had to have 42 black belt to win. Do you think that taking like a no black belt on these kind of seeds is a reasonable risk, or is it just like a 100% like, if this works out, I don't need to go as high as they have to go?
Yeah, I knew it was risky, but I knew we were also going to be opening a lot of boxes, so I was like, fingers were crossed that I was going to find the gear to buff up the knight, and we found the power bonk early on. I got the defense sword in my checks in Sky, so that was nice. So
yeah, bonk being a ton of, I think, kind of, helped, but I don't know. I would have been so scared about like just getting one shot by Kraken 2, like your mages one by one by one. But
yeah, and I mean they did.
That's true.
Because I didn't get Invis 2 on the white wizard, which kind of came back to bite me, but I moved some gear around in anticipation of that to to be able to white shirt with a black wizard and Invis with the white wizard, and then defense sword with the knight to quickly get the knight up to evade cap, so he could start swinging and bonking. But I don't. Oh, looks like Will took a reset.
Yeah, Will just.
Yeah, Tia 2
Will
was not kind to him.
Yeah, Tia had. I feel like Tia, Kraken, and Chaos all had some absorb.
I think he took a crit and then a nuke after that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kraken had taken out his white mage in the back row, as Kraken does. And from there, it kind of went downhill. Tia 2 was unkind. And it looks like he might be considering joining Season 8.
I know that he has another race after this. He is racing Dark Moon X 1v1. With the triple threat with Gregory Puff for a solo black belt 300% clamped seed.
Nice.
Which is going to go until 4 a.m.
Basically.
Yeah, we got a few more races coming up this week. As you were just saying, coming up pretty much right after this, we have that triple threat match. Gregory Puff has actually thrown in his hat for that ring, that solo black belt fight. It's going to be a time. I'm going to be there commentating that as well as soon as we finish up here.
Nice. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to go to bed, so I won't be watching that, but I'll definitely try to catch the VOD. It's cool that Greg threw his hat in the ring, because if there's anybody I want to see throw down some solo black belts, it's Gregory Puff.
I mean, that's his real.
Yeah, that's his milieu. I don't know if Will Bloodworth and Dark Moon are aware of what they're getting themselves into. It's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Well, if anybody is interested in Iron Gull, I have a bit of an announcement.
Oh.
I challenged myself, Edgeworth, and he accepted.
Oh, taking a shot at, what's that, 3rd place? It's exciting, man.
I know. This is a bit of a callback from 2019, round of 16. I beat him in the round of 16 2-1 when he got some really, really bad RNG on some our gargoyles. Just was destroying him in Castle Ordeals that I actually got through on one shot. And that's kind of how I got to the semifinals of last year's tournament. But I said, hey, do you want some revenge? And he accepted. So we will get that. Tier Next versus Edgeworth. We will get that streamed.
Nice. Battle of the OG runners, man. That's going to be a fun one to watch, too.
Yeah.
What kind of flags are you going to challenge him to?
Whatever he wants to play.
I like I speaking of challenge matches and Gregley Puff, he and I are going to be throwing down in some 0-1 Iron Goal matchup. One of us will get our first win Saturday morning at 8 a.m. I don't think it'll be restreamed because no one's going to want to restream an 8 a.m. match.
Early.
Yeah, early morning FFR. But yeah, we do have a couple matches coming up. We got the Randomania Weekly on Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Myself and Lord Fizzlebeef will be doing commentary on that. And then Friday night we have the match of the Duckling Supremes. Groggy Dog, our latest Duckling Supreme, is going to be taking on the former Duckling Supreme of Gouda 632. And I think they're going down Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then at some point, Ailmarkin, the former Iron Goal heavy metal champ, is going to be taking on Lord Fizzlebeef at some point over the weekend. And some pretty wild flags that I drew up on accident. So it's going to be, Cyrinus, you're not lying. There's going to be a lot of fun matchups coming.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's actually really fun. Like, actually, like, the people in our community can just, like, just match up with people. And actually, towards the top, there's some, like, extremely good matchups. Like, Cheeseinator versus... Isn't, like, the title match that's actually going to be screened, like, Cheeseinator versus Spellzap?
It'll be Spellzap and Thundercloud.
Okay. Yeah, that's super high.
Yeah.
That's really good. And, I hope that, coming out of retirement myself, like, I can, like, show up there a little bit and, maybe poke my head in there, be like the mankind of the just show up, and maybe the New Age Outlaws will help me win, or something like that. But
nice.
It's actually it's fun. Any flags you want to play, I challenged Edgeworth. Any flags you want to play, let's go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I hope to see. You say you're coming out of retirement. I hope that means we get to see you participate in the 2020 spring tourney.
Oh,
that's coming up in less than a month.
Is there still signups okay?
Yeah, we're looking. Signups will be open until March 15th at midnight Pacific time.
Well, your boy Tyrannix is he's a college student who's going to graduate with his bachelor's in accounting in July. And
so you're saying you're going to have a ton of free time to participate
in July. In July, not until July. But I am completely down to help everybody out, and I just don't think I have the time to do it this year. But
if you don't got the time to race, hopefully we get to hear you do some commentary, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is like my first time on the stick in like a year. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, I really hope that, I was super scared, everything worked out. I really hope that, I explained like some of the things with the nuances between the knights and the black belts with, everything going on. And, it was fun. I mean, Cyrinus is like a legend and just like carried me through the whole thing. It was great.
Oh, you give me way too much credit there, mate.
I'm pretty sure I just saw Will's black belt punch carry for over 2,000 damage. That's amazing. But congratulations on graduating, dude. That's a huge accomplishment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, yeah, from it. I mean, nobody gives a fuck, but nobody gives a. But like March to July, I'm gonna be like super busy, so I just decided like this spring tournament, I'm just gonna like be on the background and help out and do tracking and do comms when I can and stuff like that, and it'll be fun to watch. Really excited to see. I got some really good friends who are putting in a lot of work to, I really think like Gouda is gonna like shock people in this tournament. Really, really interested to see if CC can go back to back. I really don't know if anybody's at her level right now. It's going to be really exciting.
Well, I think we got a handful of runners that, notably Spells App. They could, I think he's a front runner for.
Yeah,
if I were a betting man, I'd probably put my money on Spells App.
Spells App is absolutely. I actually made the semifinals of the tournament last year, and I did a 3rd place, 4th place match against Spells App, and he absolutely destroyed me. So I got 4th place last year, and he got 3rd. So CC got 1st, and Shadow Walker was actually the only person to actually take a game off her. I matched up against her in the semifinals, and I went 0-2.
I was going to say, and then there's folks like Shadow Walker and Edgeworth. We're waiting to see some of these. Like I said, we got like 3 weeks for signups, so we're waiting to see if all these people are going to sign up. But I know we got for sure Spells App and Shadow Walker in there, and I would be surprised to not see them repeat at least into the top 4.
You know who my dark horse is? It's not really a dark horse, but who I think is actually going to win.
I'd love to hear your prediction.
Thundercloud.
Thundercloud. Yeah, he's real good too. And it's a shame he didn't get to participate last year Swiss, but he's another one to look out for.
I think he's crazy good, and I think he can actually win the whole.
Yeah, I think last time I looked at signups, we are pretty close, like fewer than 10 runners away from requiring a full 6 weeks of Swiss. So it'll be, I think, our longest Swiss round in FFR spring tournament history. So there's going to be some competition. If we're looking at over 50 runners, it's going to be exciting. I'm so hyped for spring tournament, almost as hyped as I am for this Will Bloodworth Tiamat fight. He's getting his revenge here. I can't wait to see what this One Punch Man does to Tia 2 here.
Yeah, he looks really strong right now. He's 1500 HP. He's in a much better position than he was last time, and we know this chaos really isn't as much.
Did we see Cure? I didn't see Cure 4 anywhere.
No, I don't think we did either.
Okay, so I didn't see anything too nasty on Chaos either. So
yeah, Chaos just had a bunch of statuses, effects, and
I think he had a single nuclear.
Yeah, just one nuke.
Okay.
But that 943 HP black belt, I think, can deal with this.
I do want to give a shout out to Danny 383 for coming up with these flags and rolling this seed and keeping the tradition of nasty arachnids alive. Oh man, that was tilting me pretty good in the Titan Strove, just trying to get through there to Sarda and kept getting frosted.
Yeah, those arachnids gave a lot of our runners some trouble this evening.
Yeah. And the encounter table was not friendly at all in the overworld. At least in the dungeons, there was a good long run.
Did you find the defense sword anywhere?
Defense was in Sky 3.
Okay, I don't think Will has the defense sword. I think he's just going offense here right now. He has a white shirt on his red mage, but that's about it.
And speak, and he shall appear Thundermoon.
But he's hitting like a truck.
Whew. Yeah, 9 hits, 710. Will doing the thing. I'm gonna keep going with that Bane sword.
1100 damage. Okay, this is gonna last about one round.
Wow.
Terminated. Will Bloodworth wins at a time of 2 hours, 39 minutes, and 32 seconds. and we're gonna pull that boy in and give him an interview right now. Will Bloodworth, how you doing?
Oh, I'm exhausted after that, but now I have a marathon to go after this.
Yeah, you got you got another race after this.
Whoops.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
dude.
Oh man, that went poorly.
Dude, that was exciting watching you finish that out, man. Like I came in and you were walking down to Lich 2 when I joined the broadcast, and I saw you take that tough wipe on Tia 2, but
Oh
man, like way to just keep trucking, dude. Just
Yeah.
the perseverance.
thank you. Not much of a quitter, especially on the finish line. Yeah, that was. I believe I could have routed a hell of a lot better. I think I had an instinct. I had an instinct to go to Sky when I got the chime, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try Earth, and Earth actually wasn't a bad place to go because I ended up getting key after the chain. But a floater would have been nice much earlier in the game. You know.
Yeah. I also last location floater. I cleared everything in Sky looking for it, and except the left side of the spider room. Like I almost last treasure boxed it too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I got it
less than
was-
ideal.
It was the last second to last floor, last box in the spider room. I actually did spider room before I did the top floor, which ended up saving me time. Like, not much, but some. If only I had gone right side first. Then.
Yeah, I did Sky 3 and then came back to Sky 2. Sky 3 had the defense sword though, so paid off.
Yeah, I definitely should have grabbed that. Oh well. That's the only thing I was missing that I was like, I wish I had this. Like that,
Yeah.
or like the freaking mage staff, but you know, it's like I can't get that greedy.
I did find the mage staff in a greed chest in C on the way down to Kraken, but I was hoping for a third Riven.
Yeah. Well, now it's time for me to run one black belt and no support red mage, no support resurrections to act as meat shields on the top 100 to 300% bosses. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh man. So thanks for having us here as always. We gaming. This party, those of us who are still conscious to move on to the next party, I believe is going to Big Dangwoo's stream for After Dark.
I believe that is correct.
All right. Meet us there if you
Yep,
like.
absolutely. Thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you, Tyrannix, for co-hosting with me.
Mhm.
Thank you, Danny, for your amazing tracking as always. And thank you to all of our runners tonight, not just the ones on stream, but especially you who chose to let the world see how you run.
Thanks to everybody.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you guys for doing commentary and getting the crew together.
Absolutely. And thank you to Speed Gaming also for hosting us this evening. With that, I do believe we're going to be ending our broadcast day unless anybody has any final comments they want to make.
Sign up for spring tournament. Join the Discord.
Thanks for sticking it out, those who continue to watch me toil through this damn scene. Thank you. You know how I do.
And yes, absolutely. As Caleb said, join us for the spring tournament or just join us to run random races with us, random seeds. We're very welcoming in the community, and we would be happy to have you and happy to help you learn the randomizer.
Good night, everybody.